Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I think I might not do this one. So it's anniversary today. I remember talking about it. Someone wanted me to finger this one. So somebody wanted me to do a bit test, that being with the Final Destination. I'm going to talk all about the Final Destination, so why not with the chassis, the original, from Jenny 1. Um, Final Destination, out in 2001, if I remember right there. I might have one than that. And it's like a ballsy film for a film, this. Yeah, it's like a ballsy film, because when you think about it, this film came out roughly the same year after 9/11. And the 9/11, nobody ever wants to remember that, but the 9/11. So that's what I mean, Final Destination is a ballsy film. And when I think about it, I'll probably say it more when I talk about the second film. I always wonder whether this was inspired by The Omen or The Omen 2, maybe a little bit of Omen 3. The fact that every accident is, though in Omens it's more psychological, we all know it's in the Omen, it's to do with the antithesis, and every death is made to look accidental. Where in this, you could say similar. It's if you've dodged death, death is going to get you. That's how I had that idea. To me, dodging death and death going to get you just make the film a lot more frightening, it makes it a lot more scarier, and it makes it a lot more cheaper. So I did this film, it's dues for that, but like I say, it's a ballsy film for that era. It's a ballsy film for that era because, like I say, this come out roughly not that long after 9/11. And when you think about this film, kind of imitates that with an aeroplane task. So we're going to go with the film. So you've got a troop of friends, they're going on for Jason, they're going on an aeroplane, lo and behold, the aeroplane has an accident, and Bismarck them all get killed. Now I imagine back in that era, this would have been a soccer for people that saw this back in 21. This would have been a fucking soccer. What do I mean by it would have been a soccer? Because people thought, fucking hell, these stars had a soccer appearance, have all got killed. But as you've seen in the Final Destinations, you know that's not the case. The young lad's seen it before it happens, goes on a panic attack, rings in mind saying, "We're going to have a blast, the airplane's going to get hit by lightning, we're all going to get killed, we're all going to get killed." So they take him off. His mates are all off the airplane, they're all whinging and whining. What's the problem there? The airplane's not going to crash. And then below, boom, the airplane blows up by lightning. So thanks to him having his pitch premonition, his psychic, something's going to happen before it happens, save their lives. Or you could say it was the fate of their lives. If anything knows about Final Destination, you know it was their time to go. It's frightening thought, but just the thought of it, I know, I'm going too into it, it's only a movie. But the thought of it to me is pretty cheaper, it's pretty sturdy. And one thing I love about this film is, this film has balls. Like the other movies nowadays, other movies need to learn from films back in that era when this come out, because the director, the producers had the balls. I know it was not long after 9/11, and he's put an idea of an airplane exploding, people dodging death, and death is going to get them. So I did that. It's definitely ballsy film in that sense. So you've got one lad, he's having a shower, and he's got a hose, and by accident the hose strangles him to death, and you know it's time to go because he dodged death, it kills him. And you've got a lot of other creative deaths, and it's all made to look accidental, and you know that's not the case. One lad's starting to figure it out, the other people are figuring it out, that how can somebody accidentally strangle themselves by an hose? And you've got one lad, if you think you've seen him before, he was well known for being in the American Pie. I remember rightly, yeah, it was in the American Pies. I remember his death scene being quite funny. Before that, he's got this girl. I love this scene. He's definitely a soccer. You've got this one girl, and she's going on saying, "You can all go and fuck yourselves." Before you got it, a big fucking bus comes out in the middle of nowhere and fucking splatters her. So again, that was like a soccer. You didn't see that coming. You got this girl, she's on the road, she tells her boyfriend to go and F yourself. Next thing you know, a big bus comes out of nowhere, splat. It's like, so there's definitely was a bit of a jump out moment there. And you got one dude who is, you got an idea she's a bit shy, and it's a bit of the love interest of the lad who a Joseph appears in. That one. which kind of pisses me off when they did that one because you realise fucking dodging death and all that was not to be. Same as with this lad. There's a good bit. He's in a room. He's meditated himself, and things are going to get him, and he's down and dodged death. But before that, you've got the lad that's out of American Pie. I love to see him. He's across the train. This railway comes out and slices half his head off. So it's definitely doesn't fuck around in the blood and gore. It definitely makes the death scenes accidental, but exaggerated death scenes. And I do know as they go on, the more deaths get more creative as the series goes on. So he's got his one dude, I think she has the worst his death of all. She gets stabbed down there, stabbed in the hands, and the house blows up. But lucky enough, they all dodge death. Well, some of them, as we all know, some of them get gruesome death. And they celebrating, they're having a meal, and next thing you know, they realise they didn't dodge death, there's few other people where it's not got to them. So they're running around, sparks are going everywhere, things are fucking exploding. You got one lad saying, well, who's it going to be now? Next thing you know, his big board comes flying out, splat, end of movie. So was it my Final Destination? I mean, to me, Final Destination, I felt it was ballsy. I thought it had imagination. And like I say, I felt it was ballsy. This was like, you know what I mean? This was like the same year after the 9/11. So I thought to do a film about an aeroplane crash, 20 odd year olds dodging it, and death trying to get to them. I got to just the film it's due. It's definitely ballsy. It's definitely imaginative. And like I said, they made a few sequels in 2022. You had Final Destination 2, you had Final Destination 3, you had the one, remember right there. Remember right, the fourth one was the one in 3D. I always thought they were going to put the third one in 3D, you know, like Ghost 3, Friday the 13 part 3 in 3D, and the full thing was in 3D. I always thought they were going to put the third one in 3D, but they didn't. They didn't. When they got to the fourth one, I remember them using the typical 3D gimmicks. Then you had the fifth one, not as good as the other ones, but still had a few good creative deaths here and there. So I think it is too. It's definitely an imaginative film. It's definitely a ballsy film when you think about it. The fact that people dodging death, you got the one dude dodging death, and the lad comes and saves her. A little bit of his electric wires down electrocuted, and they managed to get her out of dodge. I kind of like that idea. It's like the Chin Reaper. And they keep dodging death. And halfway through the film, I always wonder if it was inspired again by The Omen. You remember The Omen, the classic scene where David Lloyd goes picks the daggers up. You've got a broken bit of glass, it fires out and beheads him. That is sort of similar to the death scene in this. And then you've got the other related death scenes in Omens 2, Damien, you know what I mean? I'm surprised in one of these films they didn't copy the scene where someone gets dragged under icy water like in Omens 2. I really am surprised they didn't use a scene like that. Same as the lift scene where the guy gets sliced in half in Omens 2. I'm surprised they didn't use a death scene similar to that. But they do have a few good creative death scenes, again, made to look like accidents. So just the film it's due, it's definitely ballsy, it's definitely imaginative, and this is like nowadays when they make shitty fucking remakes we don't want, we don't need. I remember ranting on the Roadhouse, and I'm going to say one thing, right, before I end this review. Praise to the people, give me a lot of fans who've watched that a lot, and praise to the ones who give me a thumbs up. It's nice to know we've got something in common when it comes to remakes. Hopefully this film will Bob being Roadhouse, which I call Pointless House, and then hopefully Hollywood will learn, but I don't think they will. I don't think they will, but a film like this film to me has imagination. Had imagination. I keep saying it. It was a ballsy film for that era when you think about it. So fuck it. I'm going to be more generous. A 10-star rating for me because all the films nowadays need to go back and learn from this director that did this film. Because this was a film that wasn't trying to imitate another Freddy Cool car, wasn't a remake, wasn't trying to copy every fucking horror movie from the book. Yeah, you could say it's similar to The Omen in the death scenes, but it's its own beast as well. a lot of other films did there. You need to learn from that. So again, I give the film a 10-star rating, being Final Destination. Good into them. Be smart. Be safe. See you later.